What's up, bros and hoes, or whatever floats your goat? It's your boy Relentless, and yes, I'm bringing you yet another Division build video. Now, it was requested that I do this, and since Alpha Bridge is a viable build still, I took it upon myself to do my interpretation of how I would run Alpha Bridge in the DZ, not necessarily in Last Stand, but also I would run this in Last Stand as well. It's not considered more or less glass cannon, but it is right on the edge of partially being one. And I'm utilizing SMGs with this. Um, so this is just a generalization. Any of these things can be mixed and matched out, such as specialized backpack, tenacious mask, whatever chest piece you prefer as far as the Barrett's, vigorous, even rapid for the increased cooldowns of your heals, or reckless. So the skies are the limit. So just know this is a generalization. It has not been maxed. It can be built upon. It all depends on player preference and how you would want to run this build. But this is what I threw together, and I hope you enjoy. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, 4-piece alpha and 2 high ends. Let's start with the gear first. First, I am running a reckless chest piece with 1266 firearms. 4% all resist with a 14,513 health. Now, the 14,513 health, anywhere between 14 to 15,000, somewhere in that range, is equivalent to 1,000 in your main stat stamina. And in the mod slots, I have 248 stamina with 3% skill haste. And in the next mod slot, 261 stamina and 3217 in health. Now, I would prefer that be skill haste, but unfortunately, I did not have another one to go with it because the RNG gods just have not been with me when crafting these mods. Now, another way to actually do it, to actually beef up your health pool, would be to more or less go more stamina mods with the health on top of that, and altogether that would give you another 15,000 in health. So that would raise you up over 300,000 in your health pool. But moving on to the mask. And I actually have the wrong mask on. I'm glad I caught that. So this is a blunder for me. But anyways, as you can see, I have a great firearms roll on this one, even though the base armor roll on this particular mask is really low. But as you can see on my other one, I have skill power, which is skill power is still very viable in this build. So choose as you will if you want the extra skill power or if you'd rather have the crit chance. By all means, it is up to the player's personal preference. And the mod slot, it says I have a mod in it. 259 firearms with 3% skill haste. Now moving on to the knee pads themselves. Crit hit damage. You can opt in for other things. This is just what I chose to roll into, was the crit hit damage. But as you can see, I will run over here real fast and real quick, just because this is more or less a crit damage build. And as you can see, I have yet to roll these knee pads, but I can easily switch out crit hit damage for an additional 16 in health, which would probably suit me best. So as you can see, I'm going to roll for it now. So that'll give me another equivalent of 1,000 in my health pool. And as you'll see in a moment, I'm at 306 toughness with a larger amount of health pool. But if you choose to go crit damage, by all means go for that. And then my minor attributes, I have increased kill XP, distort resistance, and damage to elites. I prefer the increased kill XP to be shock resistant, because as we all know, the shock turrets are back in force. Since a lot of people are using the striker, it pauses the enemy in place, and the status effect of that lasts for quite a bit, so that way they stack all that bullets on you and take you down pretty quickly. So if you can get shock resistance on any the minor attributes such as on your knee pads, by all means go for it, because that is the way to go. Now moving on to the backpack, opted out to go from the specialized backpack. Yes, it would increase my health pool. As you can see here, it would jump it up quite significantly, like 24,000. But like I said, you can do that as well. But I opted in just to go with the Upper Bridge Rough Sack and go with Savage Gloves instead, because I'm already going reckless. So therefore, I plan on dealing out a lot of damage. 1260 in firearms, 12,528 in health, and 14% burn resistance. And in my mod slots, I have 259 stamina with 3% skill haste, 6% first aid self heal, and another 5.5% first aid self heal. Moving on to the gloves. I'm using Savage Gloves, decent firearms roll at 1244. And as you can see, usually I run the type of weapon that I'll be using, which is the SMG here. And for some reason I had enemy armor damage and 7% skill haste. Now this is just something I want to try out because I'm stacking considerably a lot of skill haste, and I'm trying to make up for the low skill power. Even though it is low skill power, if I can stack enough crit skill haste, then that will further reduce my heals on coming back. But if I so choose to, I could easily switch out for many other Savage Gloves that have the trifecta, because usually the trifecta on any Savage Gloves or any pair of gloves whatsoever, no matter what gear set they are, or if they're high ends, or even the Skull MC gloves, you would always want the weapon type that you will be using crit chance and also crit damage. But this is a theory of mine that I'm just trying out, going along with more skill haste than anything. And hopefully do a lot of testing, and let's see if it absolutely doesn't work out as intended. Then of course I will go back with SMG damage, and crit chance. Now moving on to the holster. Great rolls across the board at 1267 in both firearms and stamina, and 1266 in electronics. And then I have health in the major attribute slot. I'd rather have skill haste here, but unfortunately, the best holster that I had very low. I think it was like 1133 in stamina, and that was just not going to cut it. So I had to take a chance and got a very good roll on the stamina, but that allowed me not to roll major attribute as in skill haste on this mod, or that would be another 6% in my major attributes. And then I have another 6% first aid self heal. Now moving on to the weapons, I'm using the MP5 ST with 21k base damage, and that does not include the Reckless coming out of it, and I'm running Vicious, Deadly, Unforgiving. And yeah, I have the wrong one. It's supposed to be Responsive, Deadly, Vicious, and Unforgiving. Unforgiving is works out really nicely because we all know face trading back and forth. And as your health drops, also you get that 10% increase in base flat damage with one missing health segment. So that just in turns just makes my SMG even stronger. And then since you're up close and personal, I get another 10% base flat damage coming from Responsive for a total of 20% added on to what I already have. So that's 28% counting the Reckless, and then the extra crit hit damage from Deadly, and then the crit hit chance from Vicious. And as you can see how I got delta'd all of a sudden. Sorry about that, folks, but that's the vision for you, getting delta'd during a video. But as you can see on my mod slots, jumping back into it on my MP5 ST, I have magazine size 110%, 3% crit chance, 4.8% rate of fire. Now you could swap out this since it's an MP5. It has great RPM as it is at 800, but if you want to, give that an additional boost, then go with rate of fire. If not, then go with the magazine size, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage. On my large optics, I have crit hit chance, headshot damage, and accuracy. You could easily swap this out if you want to apply more crit hit damage. and go crit hit damage and then crit hit chance, as I'll show you in the very top, the pro red dot with 16% crit hit damage, then 3% crit hit chance, and then 5.5% headshot damage. All these are applicable. It just depends on what and how you like running things. And then also in my suppressor, I got the trifecta of what you want to look for: crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and headshot damage. And basically on any optics, whether it be the red dot or any other, you want to shoot for crit hit chance, crit hit damage, headshot damage. In my small underbarrel, critical hit damage, optimal range, and reload speed. Now, due to the damage drop-off of SMGs and shotguns, you could even go so far as putting a underbarrel that will give you up to, I believe, 44 to 48% optimal range. That will make it equivalent to almost an AR. So with the crit chance and everything else applied, and then you would lose some crit hit damage, but gain that extra optimal range where your damage would not drop off as much as it does, so you could further engage groups or rogues or whoever else or NPCs as you would an AR, instead of having to get up closer and confined quarters by using an SMG. But anyways, this is the build. This is what I would choose to run. Yes, the skill power is low. That's why I procced into skill haste on every single mod possible, along with first aid self-heal to counteract low skill power. But like I said, you could easily take off the reckless chest piece, put on a normal Alpha Bridge chest piece, such as this one, and then opt in for the specialized backpack. And this build would be even more viable. And if you have some Alpha Bridge gloves that are good, then you can keep the specialized for additional skill power and go for Tenacious Mask, since we all know Tenacious Mask now is more of an offensive weapon. And it comes in pretty handy and pretty nice. As I will show you, like this one, for instance, it has a great armor roll. And then for popping a med kit, increase your damage by 10 seconds. At 10%. So that's a 10% additional bonus damage for 10 seconds just for popping a medkit. So the sky's the limit, and it all depends on how you want to build. So when you go to build any gear set, whether it be Alpha, Banshee, the high ends, you need to ask yourself what kind of build you want. Do you want to go more on the DPS end with moderate toughness? Do you want to go full glass cannon? Do you want to get a little more tanky? Do you want to give up some of your skill power to go into firearms, so that way you're hitting harder? And then the only way to counteract that skill power is to spec into skill haste on everything, so that way even though your heal is mediocre, you'll get it back much faster. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry about the delta in the middle. I appreciate all you guys' support. Please smash that like and subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you sub and like the content. If you have any suggestions on what other build videos you would like, or any questions or anything at all, please leave them in the comment section below. And also, there is a new gaming community that just has started up, that me and a lot of friends of mine just has started. It is called Revolution Gaming. That link is in the description below. There is no sign up. All you have to do is like and follow. And jump in on the discussions, the topics of builds, and it's not just based on Division, but all games, because it is a gaming community, and it just has started today. So get in. There'll be prize giveaways, there'll be drawings, there'll be farmings, anything to help out the community, to help it grow, or to help you with builds, or any questions that you would have on any kind of weapon talents, weapons, what would go best in slot here. There's tons of people there already waiting to assist you in anything that you need. And also feel free to post your clips of your best gameplay. Will be great to have you in the community, and you get to speak with and go one-on-one and with me, Relentless, all day, every day. So once you go check it out, like I said, the link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean, the family, credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van.